Hello, and welcome to the Sovereign Collective podcast, where we bring you real, raw truth for your self-empowerment. I'm your host, Sasha Calavoda, and I believe that you can stand on your own 2 feet, but that you don't have to do it alone. I love learning from people who continually strive to raise the bar, to go against mainstream thinking, and who dare to question the general consensus. People who risk being ridiculed or even risk the loss of their professional status as they bravely question the common narratives and challenge the rest of us to expand our minds and to reconsider what we think we already know. Join me in learning how to take control of your health and your mind so that you can have the energy to think more clearly and the confidence to step up and take responsibility for all aspects of your life. We promise to never censor here because I believe you are strong enough to hear the real, raw truth to make up your own mind. If you like what you find here at the Sovereign Collective podcast, then please share with your friends and family. I so appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. And now, on to the show. Hello and welcome to episode 85 of the Sovereign Collective podcast. Today I'm going to be speaking with Michale Hartte. Somebody had on the podcast earlier, and we're going to be talking about menopause. Women, this one is for you. Menopause is a natural change in life. In other cultures, we don't even miss a beat when it comes to going through menopause. Yet here often women are thinking they're going crazy. They're having all sorts of problems with their sleep, with weight gain, with their moods, with their emotions. And why is that? Why what is supposed to be a natural transitional part of our life wrought with so many problems for so many women? So Michale is going to give us some insight. And later on, I'm going to do another podcast around hormones from a different perspective, because I want us to have a really good full view of all the things that can be affecting us. But in this case, Michale gets into some really great concepts around maintaining the relationship with our environment, our circadian rhythm, paying attention to the light cycles, connecting with the earth, certain types of macronutrients that can be very helpful, the importance of keeping your strength as we get older. We're not meant to just become feeble with no muscle mass and just get older, right? This isn't how aging is meant to be, in my opinion. We are meant to go through different stages, absolutely, yes. We're not meant to have the same levels of certain hormones throughout our life. We're not meant to look the same all throughout our life. We're living in a time where we have been sold this story and we believe that we're not allowed to get old, that we need to maintain the hormones of when we were in our 20s. But is that really true? Is that what we're supposed to do? So Michale gives us some insights into how to go through this period and come back to homeostasis and feel good in our bodies, feel strong in our bodies and in our minds, and give you some great basic tips to do so. So tune in. And if you find this has been helpful for you, then please share it around, because I know there's a lot of women that can benefit from this information. And in the meantime, also, just so you know, I don't know if I ever talked about my Instagram channel, but I am on Instagram. If you ever want to check me out at Sasha K Says, that's SASCHA, both the S and the C are in there, on my Instagram channel. My YouTube channel is Sasha Says. And my husband and I have recently started a Telegram channel all about self-mastery, doing the inner work, supporting our bodies with the right foods, but also doing the inner work and understanding and seeing our patterns and beliefs and things like that that might be limiting us from really truly stepping into our full power and why we're actually here. So check that out on Telegram at Inner Alchemy Dojo. Also check out my store page at sovereigncollective.org/store, where you can get deals on Living Libations beautiful skin products, on products through Cultivate Elevate with Matt Roski. I have an interview coming up with him really soon as well. Get discounts on his great products. Get discounts on a local company here, New York Organics, on medicinal mushrooms and tonic herbs, a really fantastic company that I've worked with for many years and whose products I use daily. So lots of great stuff there and more to come as well. So check that all out. Enjoy this interview. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section on YouTube if you are watching it that way. Hey, give me a 5-star review if you don't mind as well. Like I always say, I'm trying to grow this podcast, and that depends on you. So thanks, guys, for listening, and I hope you enjoy the show. Oh, and by the way, I had some technical difficulties when we started this interview, and my audio is quite poor, unfortunately, on my end. Michele's is good, but mine is poor, so I just wanted to warn you about that. And now, enjoy the show. Hey everyone, Sasha here for another interview for the Sovereign Collective podcast, and today I have a returning guest, Michale Hartte. She was actually with me a long time ago, like 60 interviews ago, on episode number 25. And we talked about weight loss. And if you see Michelle, if you're watching this on video, if you check her out afterwards, you will see why she talks about weight loss, because she knows what she's doing. So today, women, we are going to be talking about a very important time of life that more increasingly I find as I get to that area, I'm not there yet, although there are signs that I could be close, talking about menopause, right? We're talking about menopause, and sometimes women seem to kind of breeze through it and they don't, maybe they have a hot flash or two, or maybe, something, obviously it changes, but other women think they're going crazy. They get fatter, they can't sleep, their mood goes crazy, and they literally think they're losing their mind. And I've talked to many, many women who feel like they're going through this. And why is that? This is a natural transition in life. This is a natural time of life that we are meant to go through as we go into the next stage of our lives. So why is it that so many women suffer? Well, Michelle is going to help clear up that picture and give you some tools and tips to maybe make that time, even if you're not going through it right now. Prepare now, because life catches up to you in different ways. So prepare now, or if you are feeling that you're there, or you are there, or you've been suffering for a long time, listen up. Let's talk to Michelle. Michelle, joining me from Mexico. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, totally fun. And last time we talked, you were Kelowna. Your whole family's moved to Mexico. Like you said, you're living the dream, so life is good. So that's awesome. That was a great, obviously a great thing for you to do. So menopause, girl. I know we could talk. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm kind of going to rush through so we can get to some meat and potatoes. So let's talk menopause, and let's talk. Oh, and we're going to touch on a lot of different aspects about it, but where do we start about it? Okay, menopause. It's a thing. Why is it such a difficult thing for so many women? And are you done with menopause?
6 months, close to it. So I haven't had a menstrual cycle in like 6 or 7 months. So yeah, I'd have to say pretty much. I'm 57, so I still had enough eggs to last this amount of time. But anyways, the reason why women are struggling with menopause is they don't know the game.
It's game. Okay.
Game changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's all changing?
Yeah. Well, it's a hormonal picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we can dive into estrogen. Yeah. We're not superheroes anymore. We were, but we're not. So estrogen is it makes us superhuman when we are menstruating. And once we stop menstruating, then the ovaries shut their doors, and then it's all the adrenals take over. And they're making a bit of estrogen, but we don't have estrogen in our favor. So we have to change our game to know that we don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what does that look like?
Yeah.
So I work out, I eat well, blah, blah, blah. What else could I possibly do? What's changing?
Yeah, you have to know how estrogen was helping you before, and now we don't have enough. So now we need to shift gears. So why we were superheroes before, when we had the estrogen in our favor, is because when we did accumulate extra fat from, excessive eating, or maybe eating the wrong foods, or not taking care of ourselves, then it was actually accumulating around our like subcutaneous fat. So the jiggly fat, which isn't actually in and of itself like harmful. It's not. Maybe it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, but it's not really damaging to our body. And so when you are menstruating, you can make more fat cells. And they are insulin sensitive, which means that you're still really healthy. But when you are in menopause, then you don't have estrogen in your favor. And so you don't make any more fat cells. And that may sound like, well, isn't that a good thing?
You don't make any more fat cells. Interesting. I've never heard anybody say that, but yet women are complaining of gaining fat.
Yeah. So it's a different type of fat.
Okay.
Accumulation. Let's unpack that. So although we're not making more fat cells, which are smaller fat cells, they're insulin sensitive, they're not insulin resistant, they can still handle blood sugar really well. Their inflammatory markers tend to be not as elevated. So these are the benefits of having more estrogen. So now that we're not making enough estrogen, then we don't make more fat cells. So the problem with that is the fat cells that we do have expand. When we do, yes, and they expand and they get bigger, like 10 times their size.
Okay.
Yeah. And so as they expand, they become inflamed. You become inflamed. They become inflammatory markers. So they release all these cytokines, which is inflammation. And
Mm-hmm.
so the body thinks that it has an infection all the time because you're releasing all these inflammatory markers and your fat cells are expanding, expanding, expanding. And then when you have this inflammation, then it leads to more of the visceral fat, which is the midsection fat, which a lot of women talk about in menopause. Why am I gaining it around the belly?
Yeah, very, very common for women to say, I just,
Yeah.
no
So
matter
what
what I do,
happens
I
is,
can't get rid of this stuff right here. That's what I hear all the time.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're menstruating, you tend to accumulate fat around your hips and your thighs and your breasts. That's the normal area that you will accumulate the fat, which is healthy. It's fine. It's okay. As long as it's not excessive, then
Right,
it's okay. We need fat. Like it
right.
serves a purpose and it's really important. It's a very important organ in our body. But when we reach menopause, we don't accumulate it in those sexy areas, like the hourglass. Mm-mm.
Right.
Now you're Apple. So the fat deposition is around the midsection because that's due to low estrogen, more inflammation, and what we call visceral fat, belly fat, deep fat. This type of fat is where the fat cells expand and they become inflammatory. And then it's like hard to come off unless you know what you're doing. That's what I mean. The game changes.
So when you change your game, because it's not just the fat accumulation that happens with menopause, right? There's sleep, there's mood, there's capacity to handle, the world. There's so many different things. There's hot flashes. So is this all part of the same thing, do you think, or are there different things going on?
So let's look at that. So estrogen allows us to be a superhero. We have better sleep, we have better blood sugar control, we have better and our inflammatory markers aren't as elevated typically. So now you don't have that. So the consequence of that is, why do I have insomnia? Like, why are hot flashes, all these things? And that's because of this estrogen factor as well. Because the lower the estrogen, the more that our blood sugar becomes imbalanced, and same with our inflammatory markers. So, but the other piece, that's the part one. Part two is this. Remember, we talked about the ovaries shutting their doors?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then where does the estrogen start to, where does the body start to make some estrogen? In the adrenals.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are the adrenals? What is their role in our bodies?
Well, part of it is definitely, stress support, right? It's helping you
Okay. Thank you.
stress.
So women haven't adjusted their stress.
And that's a big deal. I really watch, like you can see real time, their symptoms get worse as their stress fluctuates up and down, right? Yeah.
Correct. And so if you're stressed, are you sleeping well? If you're stressed, you've got the hot flashes. If you're stressed, how do your days go? Are you showing up the way you want? Are you knuckle fisting your way? And then when you're stressed, guess what else? You have cortical receptor sites around the midsection. That's again double whammy. That's where you accumulate it because of the excess stress. So I have a mission and a message for women that are over 40 that are reaching menopause. I have a message
Okay.
because I see this all the time. I've been in practice 23 years. I've seen so many women struggle where they come and then I help them and now they transform their lives because they know the game.
So what's the mission? What's the message? What are you saying to them?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is I'm giving you a permission slip to start taking care of yourself.
It's pretty important actually, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is, but we find a lot of women find that weird because we're so programmed to take care of everybody else but ourselves.
And everybody's
And that's
suffering.
generational.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't keep doing that. It's not working because what about us?
Right.
We're not taking care of ourselves. And so we're stressed. And so if we're stressed, the family's stressed, the partners are stressed, everybody's stressed. So really it comes down to, I really believe that if women can step it up and go, listen, like I want to, not I need to. No, no, no. I am going to take care of myself because I matter too.
Without trying, like this try question. Like somebody left the shop that I'm at yesterday and something, oh, I'm going to try to do all the things you said. I'm like, there is no try. You're just going to do it. Right. Because the less you nourish yourself, the less you can give to others. And as the nourishers, right, we have to nourish ourselves first. Absolutely. So you keep talking about estrogen, but then there's that balancing hormone. There's progesterone. So what's going on with progesterone and how is that playing the role here? And
Well, basically all the hormones tank.
Right.
You have to know that they go down. And then to really know where you're at, you need to get tested. You don't guess. But there are some low-hanging fruit that you can do without even testing, which comes down to doing the right things for self-care. And I have another message.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, give yourself the permission to take care of yourself. That is number one. The next thing is, how am I going to take care of myself? Well, first of all, we need to start lifting, building muscle.
Okay.
When you start to build muscle, things start to shift. Because here we talked about this estrogen, is lowering, and that disrupts our blood sugar inflammatory markers. What's the counter of that? Building more muscle will allow you to be able to have better blood sugar control and lower the inflammation if you do it right. So that's the other message I want to do is women need to get stronger inside and out. And it starts with us. Like, look around you. What's happening to everybody? Look at the kids. That gets me the most because it's not it's not the kids' fault the way they are. Like we have such an epidemic of obesity. It's over. We passed the point. But
and we're getting to the point where we're making it okay, right? It's okay. It's just your body shape. Is it really? Let's look at the beach pictures from 50 years ago and let's count how many were obese compared to now, right? Is it really the way you're supposed to be? Yeah.
No, it's not. Again, that's the program.
Right.
So I'm unplugging the women into this from the program that they're in. They're living artificial lives, and it's not even their fault. It's all programming. So if we unplug that and move into power, self-power, empowerment, and if we can take care of ourselves, knowing the game, everybody wins. It's selfish if you don't take care of yourself. You are the example. And it's okay. Like I said, here's the permission slip. Start taking care of yourself. And doesn't even have to take very much time. The morning sets the stage for the day.
Totally.
If you get the morning right, you're on fire the rest of the day. I mean, just think about, okay, let me ask you a question, Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that when you get the morning right, you do a bit of self-care, you do whatever you need to do, that your mood improves?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. So if your mood improves, do you find that it kind of is like a ripple effect with other people around you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So the way to have healthy families and partners and kids is it starts with you.
Absolutely. That's what Tim says all the time is like happy mommy, happy family. That's just the way it goes, right? And if you're not, I understand that. Absolutely. So, okay. So women need to, number one, build muscle, reduce stress. So people like, okay, but I've got this going on, this going on, this going on. How am I going to reduce what are some tips that you have for women to reduce their stress?
Yeah. So there's a lot of stress management techniques. I would have to say the number one would be getting outside first thing in the morning and immerse yourself in nature.
Mm-hmm.
For many reasons that I can unpack.
And so if somebody's living in the middle of a jungle and not living in beautiful Mexico, and it's the middle of winter, what do you say to somebody who has resistance to that? I have to admit, I've become quite hermity in the winter these days. I go out and I look in the direction of the sunrise. I'll walk in the snow just in my backyard, but I love the coziness of winter, I have to say. And I'm definitely more, but I'm also well-adjusted mentally for sure. But I have to admit, I'm not doing it as much as I should. However, what are examples of that depending on what environment you're in?
Yeah. So I'm going to reframe how you even look at all that.
Okay.
The first thing is women need to couple ourselves, be more connected. We need to get out in our environment. We are different than males. We're not the same.
No.
We're both human, but we're different. What makes us different? We carry the mitochondria DNA. The men do not do that. That's important because if we carry the mitochondria DNA, we have this genetic code that is when you get outside in nature, you're more balanced. And I can say that to anybody, any woman that goes outside, how do you feel? Every time you just get outside, how do you feel? Just tell me that. Mm-hmm. Amazing, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
okay. Yeah, what happens if so then if you don't go outside and you're inside all day under your computer, under artificial light, looking at your computer, just being on the phone all the time, how does that feel?
Oh, well, it's wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to go, well, that feels good. This doesn't. Okay. Why does it feel good? Because your bodies are meant to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
Just, we're captive animals. We're like zoo animals inside living an artificial life.
Totally.
If you're living an artificial life, you're going to feel artificial. It's as easy as that. We need to go, what did our ancestors do? How come they were so much healthier and fit and like strong and robust? And how come they can walk around with bare feet and they had such community? There was lots more peace. They all worked together. They were really fit. They went and foraged their food. I mean, in the 80s, the 90s. It's because they were more coupled with nature. The more that you're outside in nature, you feel calm, right? That's the impact of the environment in your nervous system. It puts you back into parasympathetic. What does that do? It calms the adrenals. What does that do?
Totally.
Everything can work better.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So also the other piece is the sleep piece. That's why I want women to get outside in nature. First of all, as soon as you do, you're telling the body what time of day it is. That's called circadian rhythm. All of our hormones are connected to that. So before you go and grab the next whatever, hormone replacement therapy, yams to help increase progesterone, all these things that can support estrogen, you're forgetting about like the low hanging easy fruit that's easy and free.
And free. That's the thing, right?
Free.
So circadian rhythm.
Anybody
Let's
could
talk
do
about
it.
this. I love this topic. So, okay. So,
Anybody can do it. So there's
right.
no excuses. I don't want to hear one. And I'm going to unpack. If there's an excuse, I'll share with you my reply. So first of all, what the science even shows, this is really cool. So if I give you the science, then you're more apt to do it. That's how I work with my clients is if I give you a reason why, then you're likely more apt to do it. Why? Because I'm a teacher and a detective. I detect the issue with the women, why they're not getting where they need to be, but I'm also a teacher. Here's why. You got to learn about your body. So basically you get outside first thing, and then you go if you wear glasses, they really need to be on top of your head. You want the outside, whatever light's happening. You don't even need sunlight. You need the frequency of the environment in the morning to enter your eye clock, which talks to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is the leader of all hormone. And it says, hey, this is the time of day. Okay, cortisol, do what you need to do. Let's upregulate cortisol, get up and go. Awesome. Hey, let's start the production of melatonin. Takes 12 hours. Oh, wow, 12 hours. Okay, well, good thing I'm out in the morning because I'll be going to bed in 12 hours. Great. You're amping up the sleep hormone by just going outside. If you don't, you're not going to trigger even the activation of melatonin. So here you are, get up and go. Wow, I have energy. That's amazing. I didn't even have coffee. Oh, I feel so good. Wow, this is amazing. Huh, I feel so calm. Wow, this is like a miracle. All you're doing is getting outside. So all I want you ladies to do is to get outside as early as you can, ideally within 30 minutes. I'm going to give you some parameters for at least 5 minutes. And if you want to take it to the next level, it's a challenge. You take your shoes off and you put your feet on the ground. Why? Well, many things, because now you're grounding. Now you're actually connecting with Mother Nature. And if you have never done that, just try it. Give yourself a 14-day challenge and do what I'm saying. So what you're doing is now you're connected with Mother Earth, and Mother Earth goes, oh, thank you. Wow, I haven't seen you in a while. That's amazing. Let me just collect all those negative ions that you had all trapped in your body. Let me just take them away. Oh, wow. Oh, interesting. My pain's starting to go away. So I have less pain and I feel better and I sleep better. Oh, wow. That's a great start. 5 minutes outside in the morning.
Right.
Free.
Yeah. It's a simple thing. So let's talk circadian rhythm and why. So what are other ways? Because I really feel that one of the big problems with modern life, other than all the poisons everywhere, is the circadian rhythm disruption. There are so many things that are leading us away from our natural rhythm. So what are other things that women can pay attention to, that anybody can pay attention to regulate circadian rhythm?
Yeah. So let's just start with step one, because if you don't do that, forget it. Just make it easy and just do step one that I've described. We don't want to overwhelm. We just go, let me just do step one. So once you get step one kind of anchored in, you've got the habits going, then you go, oh, what else can I do? What I'm going to let you know right now is this. If you're a woman watching this and you're over 40 and you're 20 or more pounds overweight, I already know you're leptin resistant. What is leptin resistance? That means that you really can't tell when you're hungry or full. That's a big deal because you're eating at a time the body's not ready for it, or you're eating more than the body needs. My number one thing for all you women out there is pay attention to get your rhythm back to, oh, I'm actually hungry. Oh, I'm actually full. How do you do that? Get your circadian rhythm back. How do you do that? Get outside in the morning and just do step one. Connect with Mother Nature. Let the body know what time of day it is.
Yeah.
So then when you do, then I want you to be mindful going, oh, okay, what's my step two? Am I really hungry? I'm not really hungry. It's supposed to be the time to eat. Or am I really hungry? No, I'm emotionally eating. That's not really hungry.
No.
So you retrain the body to be mindful of, I'm actually hungry. Oh, wow, I'm actually hungry. I'm going to eat. Okay. When you do, then you're going to help to fix leptin resistance. Leptin is a hormone that gets released from your fat cells. And if you keep dysregulating when you're hungry or full, your body doesn't recognize when it is. So you have to retrain the body. Okay. And if, like I said, if you're 20 or more pounds of weight, that's what you need to do. When you do, everything else can fall into place until you do that piece. Okay. So that's also important. So if we want to take it another step above, oh, how do you fix their circadian rhythm? Like I said, only eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. Okay. And when you do, you're working with your body instead of against it. Now, hydrochloric acid is really important for you to recognize that it's higher in the morning and less at night. Why is that? Oh, because we're meant to eat protein in the morning. And when you have hydrochloric acid released from the stomach, when you do eat that first meal, you are working with your body instead of against it. So you want to get the body's waiting for this protein. Why? It's going to help you build the muscle. Carbs aren't, fat isn't. It's the amino acids from the protein. Okay. This is what we need to work on right now. And so your first meal needs to be protein rich because your stomach acid is the highest. You're working with your body instead of against it.
And the interesting thing is, from a Chinese medicine perspective as well, too, your digestive fire is strongest.
Yeah.
Right. But we have a very big trend of fasting till midday or later in the day, where I feel like that really needs to be switched around upside down and start the day. Like, you don't want to be digesting a big, huge meal just before you go to bed, right? You don't want to go all day without eating, personally. And I've worked with both. And I've seen the difference in how I feel and how my body likes it. And I really feel that morning, we've been trained out of breakfast. Oh, breakfast, most important meal of the day, with that's just a bunch of garbage. But is it really digestive? Like, even the traditional, just the traditional practices are eating breakfast, right?
Yeah.
And good breakfast.
The other thing is, I just want every woman to pay attention to what's going on inside. So instead of like, do I do this? Do I do that? What is your body telling you? Number one, if you're not hungry, please don't eat. The body is not ready for that. And also, if you're not eating, we want you to hydrate. We need to get that water in. All right. And when the time is right for you to eat, whatever freaking time that, I don't care. It's, oh, I'm hungry, eat. Not because it's time to eat because someone told me to eat. No, I'm eating. Eat till you're 80% full. And then stop, but make protein a priority. Okay. Because remember, you really want to build that muscle and preserve the muscle. You're going to be leaning on that when you're 80, when you're 70, when you're 60.
Right.
Definitely. You're going to want that. You're not going to need to run away from a line, but you're going to need to pick yourself up if you fall.
Well, you want strength.
Okay.
Absolutely. Strength, that falling thing, that's important. That strength thing. And you want to be useful, right? What are your favorite forms of protein?
Well, the number one form of protein that has everything in it, including the healthy fats, are animal protein. And so this is probably against the flying in the face of vegans and vegetarians. I have to say that they have all the 9 essential amino acids, and they also have the healthy fat all in one, and they have the minerals and the vitamins and everything. Not only that, if you eat animal protein, studies have shown that you raise your metabolism 30% just by digesting the animal protein alone. 30%. Why do we want a healthy metabolism? That way we don't have to diet. We can eat when we're hungry, stop when we're full. Get off this diet bus.
Seriously.
We don't want to count, like, come on, keep it simple. Eat real food. We were hunters and gatherers. Get back to that.
Yes.
If you were, your ancestry is from a long light cycle and you ate mostly vegetarian, then you should eat that. But if you're from a northern climate, then you need to eat that and not buy into the dogma of vegan is healthy. Vegan can be healthy for some people if their ancestry is that, but certainly not from all the other people. So we want animal.
There's vegan. I think vegan is, I don't know. I did it.
Yeah.
I did it for a long time. I think there's too much work to be done in that. And even then, I mean, how many lineages are actually vegan? Vegetarian, maybe, but vegan, that's I used to be there. I'm not a proponent of it anymore myself either. So I agree. Sorry, I cut you off, but I just had to and another thing, before you start talking again, I think another caveat is the quality of what was that animal fed before you feed on it, right? Because that's also going to change the quality of the fats, the quality of what's in there, what's not in there, everything like that. Is it an animal that lived its life, or the animal was force fed and confined?
100% different. So I've been trained to work with post-cancer recovery. Dr. Dixon Tom clearly showed, here's the chart for those that have had cancer. And so here's the yes, here's the no. And I remember that had quite an impact on me when I was studying this like 15 years ago. And basically it talked about animal protein.
Okay.
Yeah. So animal protein that is in their natural environment. So that means if it's like beef or bison, pasture raised, grass finished.
Right.
Okay. Pasture raised, grass finished. Wild caught salmon, pasture raised chickens, turkeys, pasture raised eggs from chicken, right? All those. But then on the other side was factory farmed.
Right.
Why is that? It's a whole different message in the body. I'm letting you know, every time you eat, you're giving the body a message. Do you want to heal or not? So this side is healing, this side isn't. And with cancer, you really need to pay attention. Okay. And so I work with clients that have had cancer, 5-year watchful waiting. And so I'm really careful with their eating plan and I reteach them how to eat. So when it comes to factory farm, why is it so not healthy for us? Well, the reason is because you eat what they ate.
Right.
And so when we eat the factory farm, we're eating a lot of the wrong type of inflammatory fats. We talked about inflammation, right? You can eat fats that will make you more inflamed. And you wonder, why do I feel so tired? Why do I have pain? Why can't I sleep? La, 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 la. Why am I at risk of, why am I on these high blood pressure medications? Those are easy to get off, by the way, if you know what you're doing. And it's because you're eating a diet that's high in omega-6 and low in omega-3. What is omega-6? Pro-inflammatory. We do need some. I'm not saying we don't, but not from that type of food, but we do need some, like nuts and seeds. But omega-3 is what we want to eat more of. Those are the anti-inflammatory. They put out the fire. And so grass-fed beef is high in omega-3. Grain-fed beef is high in omega-6. Yeah, you'll spend a couple extra bucks, but isn't that important for your health? Like, where are you going to spend it? In the hospital? No, food is medicine. Like, really think about this through. I just want to empower women to go, listen, like, there's information out there that will show you exactly what to do. It's there. You just got to look for it. And I mean, I have it. I have a 9-step Fit and Healthy Forever program that I walk women through, so they're never guessing. It's like, this is like my gift to the world. I even give it away for free because I know that if I can help the women, they're going to help themselves and they're going to help the kids and they're going to help everybody wins. Mother Nature wins. Why? Because we're not polluting it anymore.
100%. Like,
it's
so much changes with that, right? Like, if just everybody would just change, the farmers they support, where they get their food, like, it's the ripple effect is like endless, right? I get that completely. Yeah. Okay. So circadian rhythm is key. What happens? So when somebody has a dysregulated circadian rhythm, what do you see?
Okay. So we talked about the number one, get step one. Just do step one. Get outside first thing in the morning and put your eyes, if you're wearing glasses, put them on your head and just look, where the sun's rising. You don't look directly in the sun. Look where the sun's rising. And I also want you to imagine yourself healing. That heal. I'm healing your cells are smiling. Just imagine they're babies. You are making your babies happy. They are smiling. I want you to remember that. It's like the sun. The sun is a nutrient. Don't be afraid of the sun. We can unpack that after, but really just get outside, allow Mother Nature she's there to heal us. Okay. So your cells are smiling. Yay. 5 minutes. That's it. That's your thing. And if you can take a walk at some point in the morning, that's amazing. Because now you're outside in nature, you're moving. Okay. You're burning fat. Walking is the best way to burn fat. All you need is a pair of running shoes. There's no excuses there. So you're outside walking, and you're burning fat. Yay. The visceral fat, more particularly. So then you come back and then you go, okay, what's another step that I could do? Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, have your protein as a priority. Great. What else can I do, Michelle? I've already done those things. Okay. I want you to get out around solar noon, around noontime, around. Only if you haven't had a lot of seed oils. Why do we burn in the sun? Why are we so afraid? We're eating the wrong fats. The fats make the cell membrane. We're burning from that. So what I want you to do is clear away the seed oils. Get that out of your house. It is so inflammatory and they lodge right into your cells. The cells that are smiling, they're not really smiling when you eat those fats. They're frowning, they're crying. So as you start to get rid of those seed oils, get outside more around noon. Okay. And then you can get that vitamin D activation from your cholesterol, which helps you make vitamin D. And then again at sunset. So if you can do anything at all, think about these times to get outside. That'll make the biggest impact. Okay. It's like, okay, so we have morning time, we have around noon for the vitamin D activation. And then we have sunset. Why? Because you're telling the body to calm cortisol down and to bring melatonin up. What does that do? Oh, I'm feeling calm. Oh, I'm getting sleepy for bed. Oh, wow, I can sleep through the night. Oh, wow, I wake up with energy. Oh, wow, now I really want to do more than just walking. Michelle, what can I do? Well, let's get into some resistance training, build that muscle. That's how you do it.
Okay. Pretty simple, all for free, right?
Yep.
Pretty simple and all for free. So, and what I would suggest is that a lot of other things are going to change in your life, right? Like you said, you're going to have more energy, your mood is going to change, your willingness will change, your ability to nourish the others around you will change, the way you feel in your body will change, the way your body looks will change. Like sometimes it's just like that ancestry, getting back to basics. That's the thing. That's why I love talking about these things to people. It's like, okay, you're trying to like fix this hormone way down here at this endpoint, but like, let's back the bus up and let's do some fundamental basics so that you can actually do that. But in the meantime, you also fix all these other things, because look what this thing up here is, a common denominator to all the other outcomes that you want, right? Living a natural life. So,
Yep.
what was I going to say? So when you are working with women in their menopausal time, perimenopausal time, what other considerations are you making besides circadian rhythm and strength training? Like, what are you looking at them? Are there tools that you use to assess what needs attention?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a detective big time. I go right to the root cause, which is everything. You need to find the problem to get the solution. And so that's where I'm really skilled is I do a thorough assessment because you can't do what your neighbor does. Yeah, we have some low-hanging fruit, foundational principles, eat real foods, walk as much as you can, get in nature, la, la, la. But for some women, it's not enough. They want to go, that's like, it's good, but I'm on all these medications. I'm stressed out of my face. I have very little time to take care of myself. I'm don't want to be like my parents because now like I'm taking care of them and they're like they have dementia. How do I prevent dementia? How do I prevent la la? Okay, so that's like let's do this and let's shorten the curve so you're not frustrated. You know exactly what to do, nice and step by step. So I always listen. If anyone's going to do anything, like get an assessment done. Like blood doesn't lie. All right. So it's like I collect the client health history because I need to know if you have all your organs. If you don't have a gallbladder, it's because your liver was congested. It's not even to do with the gallbladder. Your liver was congested. It was making like bile. It was accumulating all this bile into the gallbladder and it was toxic bile. And then it's like, oh, it's the gallbladder. No, it's actually the liver that was congested. So here you are getting your gallbladder out or looking at that when really you have a liver congestion. What does liver do? It's so responsible for hormone balance and blood sugar balance and inflammatory and also keeping you from cancer. So yeah, so the liver. So the client health history, I look to see, do you have all your parts? Thing, like I said, gallbladder, tonsils, even if you got your tonsils out when you were like 5, that told me you already had an immune issue when you were 5, because tonsils are just the messenger. Tonsils are saying, hey, there's an immune issue going on. My gut's kind of congested. That's where your immune system lies. So if the doctors went, oh, we have an inflamed tonsils. Okay, what are you eating? No, let's cut it out. What? You had an immune issue and it never stopped. Oh, then I had this immune issue. Then I got mono. Then I had pneumonia. And then I had, I had chronic fatigue in my heart. Like it all falls apart if you don't know the root. So anyways, when I do the assessment, I find out your health history tells me a lot. Okay. And to how your body is right now.
Do you
Right. So
find that those that don't have a gallbladder anymore have a tougher time with menopause?
100%. So I just had a client who I actually saved from getting gallbladder surgery, and her name was we did a Rhonda Godfrey.
Okay.
She was screaming out in Facebook, and listen, I don't even look at Facebook. I don't even look at my social media. I don't, like, my team does that. So, but I happened to see the message, and it was like, hey, I want to save my gallbladder. I'm about to have gallbladder surgery. I'm like, well, I can help you. So then I connected with her and we did. She saved her gallbladder. I walked her through, like I was on call though. Like I was, but I mean, she's going to get her gallbladder out. No, we can save that. I've also saved women from getting their uterus out. That's a liver thing. It's not the uterus. It's the liver. Listen, love your liver. Okay.
Yeah.
A large part of my program is let's clear the liver. Come on. That's your organ of detoxification. So let's get that. So the gallbladder. Yeah. So I have my gallbladder out, don't worry about it. We can still work with that. You need to take an ox bile supplement every time you eat. Otherwise you will suffer.
Right.
Because you need the ox bile to break down the fat. And you need fat to have healthy hormones and healthy membranes and feel satiated. And it tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we take the ox bile before you eat, now you can have more fat. Great. You're a fat head. You don't want to not have fat. Your brain needs fat. Like your body needs fat. Don't fear fat. Eat the right fat, not the seed oils. So anyways, take ox bile. Okay. And if you want some help with that, of course, I can help you. So the assessment is everything. I always tell my clients, listen, why do you want to keep shooting in the dark? Like, haven't you wasted all these time? Like, let's go, And so the assessment comes and I can pick up parasites, candida, low stomach acid, heavy metals, thyroid issues, adrenals, la, 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 la. Okay. And it's like, oh, hey, did you know, Mary Lou, that this is really the problem? Oh, I had no idea all this time. Yeah, this was actually the problem. So here's my solution. And it's always, first of all, you can't be that same person. The first step is being the new you. If you're that same person, you're going to have the same habits. No, we're now sifting in the new arena, women that have inner and outer strength, that take care of themselves and their family. You are worth it. You have a permission slip. Let's go. This is it. What does that look and feel like? Let's start there. Oh, okay, great. So every morning I want you to see it and feel that. That's the first step. The second step is you need to eat enough. Forget the starving, forget the depriving. That is programming. Animals don't do that. No, again, it's programming. They're selling you stuff. I unplug and go into, and it's like, but Michelle, I'm not really sure. Don't worry about it. That's what I'm here for. So then I help them with, this is the starting point with how much to eat. And I calculate that out, but within that is the protein. So yeah. And then they go,
Right.
stress gone.
Mm,
Results, success. Yay.
right.
Happy mom, happy kids, happy family, everything. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I think a lot of the stress is even the not knowing, right? So having that plan, having the permission to, because when there's so much information right there, which it leads to a very mechanical way of life, I think. And there's no intuition in that. We don't listen to our body's signs and signals. We don't listen to what our ancestors did. We're afraid to eat the foods that we ate when we were healthy and strong and robust, right? Because we're told these ridiculous stories. So I think that stress and taking that away, that like it's not even, it's just that just, I can see it dropping because people just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
That knowing and that plan, I think will do a lot to help support them as well. Do you do a lot with supplementation?
Okay, so let me just take a step back.
Oh.
So with our clients, what we do is we give them, it's like, I don't know what to do. Okay, you know what? Here's your daily routine. When you have a system, you have freedom. If you don't have a system, you have no freedom. Your system for your body to get your results will give you freedom. If you are always sitting there with emotional eating, starving, depriving, you are in prison. Do you want to be in prison? No, you're going to find a system that works for you. Okay. And again, works for you, not your neighbor. So just invest in yourself. Like invest in yourself. Why are you investing in everybody else? Why the pets too? Like, come on, like you matter. Okay. So that's the first thing. Please hear me. I'm serious. And when you do get started, you'll be like, why didn't I do this before? Okay. So the next step is you asked me a question and it was, supplements. Supplements are supplementing a good diet and lifestyle.
Right.
Do we think we can get everything from our food? No. No. We're not getting selenium. We're not getting magnesium. We're not getting all these things. Yeah, organic from the garden, do that as much as you can. But you know what? Our topsoil, it's just not good. And also our ability to digest our food is very compromised, mostly because the stomach acid is low. Listen, you got to get your stomach acid tested. Totally. I see that all the time, low stomach acid. That's why I don't feel hungry. That's why I can't digest the animal protein. That's why I have pain. Yeah, because your stomach acid is low. And that's why you have weight gain because your stomach acid is low. I see that all the time. But anyways, getting back to your supplements, you know what? Most times I'll have to say, a digestive enzyme with hydrochloric acid and bile is usually something that just perks the body up going, oh, I have a tool now to break down the foods that you're recommending. Now I can start to nourish my body with the micronutrients from the whole food and I can start to lose weight. And I don't get big, bloating, puffy, belly blow, pregnant belly, any of that. No. Oh, my waistline is shrinking. You mean the waistline that I was accumulating? Yeah. Because now you're digesting your food and you're getting way healthier. So I'd have to say that would be one of the ones that I usually use, which is very inexpensive. But then you're getting more nutrition from your food. So you're like counterbalancing that. The other thing, Sasha, is I don't just do supplements. I do a special form of protocols, which I'm trained on, and they're called UNDAs.
Holy homeopathy. Yeah.
Well, it has a different role. So these ones is, listen, we're riddled with toxic chemicals. And I work with clients that are post-vax injured as well. So all the vaccinations, they're injured, they're everything, pain, inflammation, can't go to work, la, la, la. So it's because they're riddled with toxic chemicals. Okay, how do we get rid of that? You can't do that with supplements. I don't even start my clients mostly with supplements. I start them by cleaning their cells. Go in the cell to get the cell well. How do I do that? Undas, undulating. Undulating means that when I say, for example, if I were to use Unda 1 and 2, this is for liver and kidney. So these are organs of elimination. And so when we start to take these drops, I call it the cleanup crew. They come in and they do the work for you. We're renovating your home into a spa home by starting to clean the cells from the inside out. It's like turning on the tap to all the poison and getting it out of your body.
What about the lymphatic system?
Yep, that's step two. So, sorry, month two. So, month one, I go with the liver, the thyroid, the gut, the kidneys, and the urinary tract. So,
Okay.
that's the first step. So, that's all you need to
Okay.
do with a catcher's mitt to catch the toxic chemicals. I use chlorogen for that and gets it out of the body. Month two, then we use chelidonium plex, and chelidonium plex help to clear the lymph system. That's your breast. That's the lymph nodes. That's your sewage system.
That's the
And
sewage
in order
system.
to move it, you need to move. You need to do the rebounding, but what you can take drops. And that's going to help prevent things like 100% breast cancer and also immune disorders. Because remember, that's your sewage system. You're going to feel so much cleaner. So I actually don't do the supplement thing. I do more of the let's clear out the cells so that they can accept the nutrition from your foods. Now you're supporting longevity. Because listen, when clients come to me, I'm like, let's get you fit and healthy so that you're the same when you're 80. That's the whole plan. It's not like a little snapshot of 30 days. No, we're doing this right so that you're fit and healthy at 80. Because I know a lot of women, they want to take care of their grandkids. And they don't like, if they don't, who's going to do that? The other grandma? Nah, no, it's you. You want to imprint that wisdom. That's your job. But you need to be healthy for that. You need to get up off the floor instead of going, the kids are like, no.
Yeah.
That's it. Like literally, you can see the passion.
Absolutely. And I think there's some really key things in there that you just mentioned. I just want to and then we're going to talk about how people can access you because I know we have to go. But I think the digestive fire, by increasing that with the hydrochloric acid in the stomach, huge problem. The sewage system is backed up, huge problem. So on those two, and also the digestive, like the liver and kidneys and all that. But the thing is just by simply increasing the intensity of digesting allows and unlocks more nutrition, but also the space to, because even regular metabolism creates waste that needs to go into an already full sewer system, right? So just those two things, without adding a lot of extra stuff, is going to enhance capacity to absorb and eliminate without, it's quite simple, right? Without totally rearranging your life.
Oh yeah, no. These are your cleanup crew. They work for you. You got to outsource. Women, you don't have to do everything yourself. That's the other thing is we got to, again, unprogram that. You have people that will help you and they want to help you. Okay? Because they need, yeah, it's their job. So is listen, you don't have to do everything. And the cleanup crew does that for you. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So now you're in Mexico. So you see people online.
Yeah, so much better. So I had a physical practice for 22 years in Kelowna, British Columbia until COVID. And then I had to shut my doors. I'm like, no, I'm not stopping. No, it's like, I need to help more women. How do I do that? Go online. Oh my gosh. Okay. How do I do that? Well, of course I hire a team. I'm not going to do this myself. I don't even know. It would take me forever. That's why hiring someone who's already done it and get some coaching is like the best investment of your time. So I hired someone to help me go online. Yeah, I remember all my coaches. One of them ended up hiring me to help his wife cure diabetes too, so that they can have a healthy family. I'll even let you know the name because he said I could. Craig Ballantyne and Michelle Valentine. Yeah, so they hired me after I hired them, and they're like, "Hey, can you help my girlfriend, now wife? Now they have 3 kids." So, and she's on my YouTube channel because these aren't difficult things to do. All right, you can pretty much fix anything. And so then I shut my doors. I'm like, okay, online. Then I'm like, well, if I'm online, I can go. We can live anywhere we want. And Reese is like, let's go. Okay. And so we liquidated everything in because I knew it was time. Why would we hang on to something we don't need? No, buy because I had the confidence knowing, listen, I know I have a good skill set. I can do this anywhere. And so we moved to a place that is good for us. You need to find an environment that works for you. Not everyone's going to love being at the Caribbean Sea. That's right there. For me, it works. Okay. But not for everybody. When you are, oh my gosh, like I literally I'm in the jungle, but I'm a block from the beach and I literally walk everywhere. So it's like your environment, if you set up your environment right, you're guaranteed to be healthy because I take the stairs, I walk everywhere, I walk to the gym and back, I walk to get my groceries, I walk now to the dentist. I found her 15 minutes ago. She's biological.
Oh,
No,
nice. And she's super close.
no,
That's amazing. That's another key
I'm,
part that is really harming people, right?
oh,
Stuff that's in their
so
mouth. That's a whole other topic.
it
Yeah.
is.
Mm.
Yes, it works. And yes, I help women in North America. That means in the States and in Canada. That's it, just North America.
Oh, okay.
Why do I pick just North America? First of all, because that's how I can get the undies to you. Because
Okay.
you don't have to, but man, why not?
Right.
And like, why wouldn't you? You know, like, why wouldn't you want to get healthy? And so a missing piece is the toxic chemicals that I can clear away, even heavy metals, parasites, candida, everything. So so I have a dispensary. I'm a professional. So I'm a clinical nutritionist. So I'm trained by doctors. And what I do is I just send the order. The order comes right to your door. I call it the health package. If we have a conversation, I go, here's how to take them. Stay in touch. Like, let's keep in touch. Because sometimes I need to adjust the dose depending on how toxic you are. Listen, I've worked with alcoholics, I've worked with babies, I've worked with clients with 15 medications. It's fine because we're only helping the body's own healing response. We're unblocking the body's healing response. That is the key. We're not pushing.
Right.
And if you're on medications, of course, we titrate, if you want, titrate the medications down as we bring the health up.
Right.
You can get off your medication, some of them, not all of them, but some of them.
Right. Right. So if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
I can send links. So what I'm doing is we opened up a school community, SKOOL.
Right. Yeah.
And this is for those that are really in it to win it. Okay. And it's a free community right now. It's free right now. I know later it may be charging for it, but right now it's free. And in this free community, I'm like, listen, I want to impact as many women on this planet as I possibly can without any barriers. Just make it easy. Oh, okay. I put my full program, the 9-step Fit and Healthy Forever program, in the school community under classroom. Press a button, and all you do is you watch a tiny little video about your lesson, the module, and then you get the handout. And then you go to the next one and you get the handout. Women that have done this, I'm telling you right now, without even me in it, they just follow it and they've lost 20 pounds in 90 days. Doing it the right way.
Right.
So I'm offering that for free. And this is not like, this is really from my heart because I care so much about the planet, the kids, the women. And I see we don't have to suffer. It's right there for free. And so I would send you the link to the school. It's called School Fit and Healthy Forever program.
Cool, fit and healthy.
We've got over 150 members now. We just opened it a couple months ago. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. I'm all over social media.
And how
But
do they
really,
find
my
you?
biggest pardon?
What's your handle? What do you, is it fit and healthy or what is the
So
Instagram?
so in Instagram, it's Michale, like Michelle, like an A for apple,
Yeah.
dot. And then my last name is Hartte,
Yeah.
Hartte. So Michelle Hart.
Yeah.
That's Instagram. But I can send you a link to school.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually probably in my Instagram. It is. It's in the bio.
Yeah.
The school
I'll
community.
put it all in
But
there. I'll put all the links in. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
there's no excuse. It's there. And here's the thing. The other thing is I see what doesn't work. So I've been helping women for like 23 years. I know it doesn't work. Right now, it's a lot psychology. Right now, it's more the mindset piece and the toxicity that's really holding them back. Before, it wasn't like that. Before, it was like, hey, just follow this and it was fine. Not now. No way. Women are overwhelmed. They're self-sabotage. They're emotional eating. Their partners aren't eating healthy. And they find it really hard because it's like, what if I eat healthy and he doesn't? Maybe that separates us. But here's the thing. Do you want to keep doing that? If you're healthy, he's going to do what he does. There's no judgment. Do not judge. You can do this yourself. And maybe he'll step it up or not. It doesn't matter. You still love him unconditionally.
Right. Or it leads to more truth of the relationship that you do have if you don't share fundamental principles. Because that's what I do see as well, too, is a lot of women, often women, not always, but often women are looking to improve. They're looking to get better. They're looking to know thyself. They're looking to change you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and get a different result, right? You have to be the new version of who you want to be. And so if you're not aligned with a partner that just wants to sit there and say the same, maybe more truth will be revealed in that whole relationship. And
And
it might
that's
not
where
be
the inner
easy,
strength.
but what
Yeah.
we want. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to be held back? Like, come on. We've been held back way too long. I am here truly to just empower women to go, let's go. Let's forget the program. Let's get into, and you know what? Just one step at a time. It's going to feel weird. It's supposed to feel weird because you're in a new arena. It's not going to feel normal. You're not supposed to feel that way. You're supposed to feel, wow, this is kind of like exciting. Good.
Yeah.
Better than not. Isn't that more
Totally.
fun? Let's go. And so, like I said, this community that we're building, it's going to grow because of Sasha, because of people like Sasha. Sasha invited me to the show. I'm like, come on, let's go. Like, I want to share this information. And because of women like Sasha that goes, listen, I care about the planet too. I care about kids. I care about unplugging. Okay. And so because of women like you that helps women like me, we all work together to help the planet heal. And I really believe it starts with the women. I know it does.
Yeah. I think there's wisdom in that for sure. Because if the wisdom, and I really think that's the whole reason why the women were pulled out of the home so long ago to not be the mentors, to do everything. You still do take care of that, but then you do all this other stuff on top of it, right? This is how you break down family. And this
Yeah.
is
I
how,
wonder why.
yeah,
Hmm.
good question. Good question. Well, let's look at the state of affairs now. I don't think it's by accident. So,
No.
okay,
But we're
Michelle.
waking
Well,
up.
pardon?
We're waking up.
We're waking up. Yes. It's a slow process and it's going to be painful, but it's okay because through that pain, there's freedom. So, Michelle, super appreciate that, guys. So take advantage of that school community, SKOOL. I'll have the link in the show notes. You can go find her on Instagram. Like free resources if you want one-on-one coaching. Sign up with Michelle because look, she knows what she's doing. She's totally passionate about it. She wants you to succeed. And you need somebody in your corner who's going to support the goals that you have. And not everybody has that, right? And sometimes it's pretty hard to do it alone. Some people can do it alone, but some people have a much bigger journey to get to where they want to go, but it can happen. And I absolutely believe in the power of the body and the mind when we make a decision and have the right resources to do so. So thank you, Michelle. Super appreciate your time today.
I really appreciate your time. Like really, I mean, you're a rock star. You're the one who's spearheading all this too. And we need more women like you that are like, listen, I don't want to just keep this to myself. I want to share this information. So I'm just going to recommend that people share the show.
Yes.
Share it
Absolutely.
to others. Like women, I'm telling you, they likely need this information. So empower them, okay, with this knowledge. All right. And to know that even if you're at the lowest of low, hey, listen, I healed my own osteoporosis. I was the lowest of the low. I starved myself. I had an eating disorder. I had super fatigued. Most of my hair was falling out. I've been fit my whole life, but I certainly wasn't healthy. So I know what it feels like to have every single addiction on the planet I had. I went, no. I want to have a life. How do I do it? I did it all wrong and then I finally figured it out. And because I figured it out, I know what it feels like not to have it. I know what it feels like to have it. I want more women to, if you could just like feel what this feels like, women want to feel good. It's not even, I want to look good, but I just want to feel good. I hear that all the time. I just want to feel good. Well, let's go. I can show you how to feel good so that your cells are smiling and they're not frowning.
Right. Absolutely. And so I think that's really important as well that you said what you've gone through in the past. I know we talked about that in our other interview because
Yeah,
people can relate to that. It's like, well, yeah, look at you. You're fit, you're healthy, but people just think you've been like that your whole life. But no, look what you overcame to get to the life that you're living. You're living your dream life right now. And for
absolutely.
people out there that feel like it's too much to overcome, it's not. It's
No,
not. When you have the right resources, the right support, and the willingness within,
yeah,
then there's no stopping what we can achieve. Absolutely. So thank you for sharing that, Michelle, because that's a really important point because
I
people
think
feel
so
like
too.
probably the mountain is too big to climb, but
Yeah.
it's
And
just not.
I just want to leave them with when you're rocking in your chair as a grandma, what stories do you want to tell your kids?
Good one. Good one. I should have done more or I did everything that I could. Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Love that. Love that. And that's really important to me because the children, future generations, all that stuff. Like it makes me even cry because where the
Mm.
hell are we going with our kids right now, right? Why am I crying now all of a sudden?
Same.
But it's
I
like these
cry.
poor children and the
I
lack of wisdom and like Jesus, look at
I
like
know.
the teens now, and if they're don't course correct, where are their kids going to be? Good Lord. So time to turn this
Not
bus
good.
around, right?
So we're out here helping. Come on, ladies, jump on the bus. We're on our way. Let's go. Let's help change. It's about a community. So let's help the kids by helping ourselves.
100%. 100%.
Okay.
Great way to end. Thank you, Michelle. Super
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Bye, honey.